You know that feeling on payday? For about 48 hours, you're rich. You tip a little extra. You order the good sushi. You look up flights to Japan you are never going to book. And then somewhere around day 10 of the month, you open your banking app. And there it is, that number. And you do what you do every month. You close the app immediately. Like it just showed you a crime scene. Here's what's strange, though. You make decent money. On paper, you earn more than your parents ever did. So why does it feel like you're always 3 bad days away from broke? It turns out there's an actual answer. It's not inflation. It's not avocado toast. It's a machine, a quiet, invisible machine redesigned over the last 20 years to make sure money leaves your account before you ever feel like it was yours. And by the end of this video, you're going to see every gear in it. My name is Mr. Finance, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and why people make the financial decisions they do. If you've ever hit check balance and felt your heart do a little jump scare, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps explain the mystery of your disappearing paycheck. Now, before we open up the machine, let me paint you a picture of how weird this situation actually is. The average American household earns around $80,000 a year. Adjusted for inflation, that's more than the 80s, more than the 90s. By the numbers, we are richer than almost any generation of humans who ever lived. And yet, more than half of Americans earning over $100,000 a year describe themselves as living paycheck to paycheck. Read that again. 6 figures. Paycheck to paycheck. Historically speaking, that's insane. 100 years ago, feeling broke meant not eating. Today, you can feel broke with a smartphone, 2 streaming services, and a car with heated seats. So either everyone became terrible at math at the same time, or something changed about how money leaves us. Spoiler, it's the second one. The first gear in the machine is the one you never see moving, the subscription. Think about what spending used to look like. Every purchase was a decision. You stood in a store, held a thing, and money physically left your wallet. It hurt a little. That pain was a feature. Scientists literally call it the pain of paying. It's your brain's built-in brake pedal. Subscriptions remove the brake pedal. Netflix, Spotify, the gym you visited twice, cloud storage, that meditation app that is ironically stressing you out. None of them ask permission anymore. They just take, quietly, on different days of the month, in amounts small enough to never trigger alarm. The average person estimates they spend about $80 a month on subscriptions. The real number? Over 200. That gap between what you think you spend and what you actually spend is not a rounding error. That gap is the business model. But recurring charges are just the entry-level gear. The next one is the one that eats your raises. Here's a fun experiment. Try to remember your salary from 5 years ago. Now answer honestly. Where did the difference go? If you're like most people, you have absolutely no idea. You got a raise, you felt rich for exactly 1 paycheck, and then nothing. Life absorbed it. This is lifestyle inflation, and it works like a gas. Your spending expands to fill whatever container you pour it into. The apartment gets 1 bedroom bigger. The car gets 1 trim level nicer. The grocery cart drifts from store brand to whatever has the prettiest font. No single upgrade feels like a decision. Each one is $50, maybe $100 a month, but stack them up and your raise didn't disappear. It got hired by your lifestyle. Full-time, with benefits. And here's the truly evil part. Upgrades are a one-way street. Going from a nice apartment to a nicer one feels like nothing. Going back down feels like failure. Economists call it the ratchet effect. I call it the reason your income went up 40% and your anxiety didn't move an inch. But even the ratchet isn't the strongest gear in the machine. The strongest one lives in your pocket, and it runs on other people's vacations. For all of human history, you compared yourself to about 150 people. Your village, your street, your coworkers, and statistically, most of them were doing about as well as you. Feeling normal was easy. You could see normal out your window. Then we put the entire planet in your pocket. Now your brain, the same brain, unchanged, still running village software, scrolls past a guy your age with a Lamborghini, a girl from your high school in the Maldives, and a 19-year-old explaining how he made 6 figures in his sleep. Your feed is not a random sample of humanity. It is a highlight reel of the top 1%'s best 5 minutes, and your brain files it under my neighborhood. Researchers have a name for what this produces: money dysmorphia. People who are objectively fine, good income, savings, stable job, who genuinely believe they're failing. In one survey, nearly half of millennials and Gen Z reported exactly that. You're not comparing your life to reality anymore. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's trailer, and you will lose that comparison every single time because the trailer isn't real. Now, everything so far has been psychology. Maybe you're thinking, so it's all in my head? No. And this next part is where the machine stops being sneaky and starts being just math. Whoever taught you to budget probably talked about coffee. Skip the latte, save $5, become a millionaire. Adorable. Here's the actual problem. The three biggest things you buy, housing, transportation, and food, got dramatically more expensive, faster than your paycheck grew. Since 2000, average wages roughly doubled, home prices tripled, the average new car crossed $48,000. Rent in most major cities eats 30, 40, sometimes 50% of a take-home paycheck. You cannot latte your way out of this. Skipping coffee saves you $5. Your housing costing 30% more than your parents did costs you $500 a month. It's like being told your ship is sinking because you spilled a glass of water on the deck, while there's a hole the size of a garage door under the waterline. So yes, part of feeling broke is real. The floor genuinely got more expensive, which is exactly why the money that's left over matters so much, and why what happens to that money is the most important calculation you'll ever run. Let's run it. Say you make $85,000 a year. Sounds solid. Say it out loud at a family dinner, and nobody worries about you. Now watch what actually happens to it. After taxes, you take home roughly $64,000, about $5,300 a month. Rent, $1,800. Car payment, insurance, gas, $900. Groceries, $600. Utilities, phone, internet, $350. Student loan, $300. Subscriptions and the quiet stuff, $250. Health insurance and out-of-pockets, $300. That's $4,500 gone before you've made a single decision. What's left is about $800 a month. That's $26 a day. That is the entire kingdom you actually rule. Every restaurant, every gift, every emergency, every treat yourself, every attempt to save, all of it fights for $26 a day. You don't feel like you make $85,000 because you don't. You make $26 a day of money you actually control. The other 90% was spoken for before the month started. And once you see that number, feeling broke stops being a mystery. Of course you feel broke. By the only measure your brain actually experiences, choices, you nearly are. But here's the twist, and it's the whole reason I made this video. That same math is also the way out. Because notice what the number depends on. Not willpower, not lattes. The fixed costs, the stuff that gets decided once and then bleeds you forever. Cut $200 of forgotten subscriptions and quiet fixed costs, and your daily kingdom jumps from $26 to $33. Keep the same car 4 extra years, it jumps again. And choose rent one notch below what you can technically afford, the single biggest lever most people ever touch, and suddenly you've got $1,500 a month of real, controllable money. Same salary, same job, same you. Triple the freedom. This is why two people with identical incomes can live in different universes. One decided their fixed costs once, at the maximum, and now white-knuckles the leftover. The other builds slack into the big three and gets to be relaxed about everything small. The broke feeling was never about the size of your paycheck. It's about how much of your paycheck still belongs to you when it arrives. And there's one more move, the identity move. The people who escape this cycle flip one switch. Money leaves for savings first, automatically on payday, before lifestyle can even see it. Pay yourself first isn't a budgeting tip, it's a jailbreak. It converts you from the last person paid by your own salary into the first. So the next time payday you feels rich, remember, that feeling was never fake. It's just currently being enjoyed by your landlord, your car, and 11 apps you forgot you subscribed to. The machine is real, but every gear in it was installed by a decision, which means every gear can be removed by one. You don't need a bigger salary to stop feeling broke. You need a bigger share of the salary you already have. And the person who understands that, who guards the big three, automates the escape hatch, and lets the Lamborghini guy enjoy his rental in peace, that person stops checking their banking app like it's a crime scene. Because for the first time, the number in there is theirs. If you want to know what happens when that number hits $10,000 and why that exact amount literally rewires your brain, that video is on your screen right now. I'll see you there.